Yeah, I'm all for keeping status quo, man. We got too much going on. We do. No.
Yeah. We made it. Right. Again,
It's 6 o'clock. Go ahead and stand for the
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Who's here?
All right. Brian Wiseman.
I'm here.
Carl English. I am present. Bob Durantz.
Here.
Harry Peterson.
Here.
Brian Cuba.
Here.
All right.
Outstanding. Approval of minutes. Does anybody have any?
They're still forthcoming. Deb's been out.
That's what he said. She broke her wrist or something.
Pending?
Hopefully she's okay.
Pending. All right. President's message. The only thing I really had, I had a couple things, but I'm not going to go for one of them. Next year, the first Thursday of 2026 in January is 1st. Does anybody want to meet on the 1st, or should we put it off to the 8th?
Let's put it off to the 8th.
Put it off to the 8th? All right. We'll put it off.
It's gonna be
all right.
Too many good football games, huh?
Roger that.
Amen.
All right. Attorney's report.
Well, we, as an update on the Presbyterian Church, if you recall, we've been trying to get a hold of them for a while on just negotiating ingress and egress rights over that property. Dave had reported that they did eventually get counsel, which was making it easier to negotiate that. But then what had been reported, and it was a miscommunication, is that they were going to donate that directly to Porter County Parks. That we got an email clarifying that this morning, that will be Pleasant Township. I did just notice that when we get an opportunity to announce a donation, Dave did that, and when the donation is taken away, he sends me. It occurred to me that but I don't think it was any nefariousness of anything. It probably will be easier to negotiate what we want as far as ingress and egress, and there's a lot of different opportunities that might be easier when dealing with Pleasant Township, or almost certainly the trustee will be easier to deal with, and has counsel built in that we're familiar with and that we already deal with. So that is going to be probably a better solution for what ultimately we thought we were getting. But that occurred, and we circulated that to the board this morning, and so that was the big news. I don't know. We did also then have some updates on the Hodson property. I don't know if I want to defer to one of the other people. I attended a meeting with 2 board members on the Hodson matter. I'll defer to them on any kind of update on that. From a legal standpoint, I would just say overall that we weren't at a point where we were talking about, the exact boundaries or meets and bounds of what a deed would look like. I wasn't doing legal descriptions for this at this point. It was more or less just what would be the ultimate goals for this property, and what would he be willing to donate it to. And it was to clarify donation, and ultimately that was what I think the tenor of the meeting would be. I'll defer to them specifically. There was a lot of excitement, I would say, during that meeting on what could be used for that very substantial parcel.
I've got a lot of details on that, so yeah, absolutely. We can get into that whenever.
I do have a question. Do we need for us to continue conversation with Pleasant Township? Do we need a motion to allow Brian or somebody to do that, or is it just cool for us to chat them up and see what we can come up with?
We actually already approved negotiating the ingress and egress rights with the Presbyterian Church previously. That's why Dave was reaching out to them in the first place. So we probably wouldn't need to do anything if you talked about either Pleasant Township, if we know they're getting it. At this point, we don't know if they don't have a deed as of today. It's not like that has actually happened up to this point. So until that happens, the church does own it until that point.
Okay.
We see a quick claim deed or something.
Okay.
So you could reach out if the township already has plans about what they're going to do with it. I'd reach out to them if we got connections with them. That was already planned. I think that was already approved in what we originally said with regard to negotiating ingress egress. So I think fine.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I have opened up lines of communication with the township recently. It's just a new opportunity. We're gonna take a new path forward to get where we need to go. I don't really think this is an insurmountable hump. We're just gonna go
Another direction.
on path L as opposed to path R. It is what it is. So, as we're reference the Hobson plan, you generally
Please.
take
Yeah, so I put together a map. I think a map would be good. Some information that I took notes during that meeting and put them all together here. Wanted to take a few minutes to explain what it is we talked about. Let's flip it over and look at the map first. I got a little creative with my green marker to outline the boundaries of John Hodson's property. And in total, it's 160 acres. It's a sizable piece of property. You see there that the boundary on the southern end is the Kankakee River. Although it's really hinky, it gets confusing. You see where it says the Pleasant Township ditch that runs north and south through the property and then down by the river. It takes a turn to the west. That where it meets the Kankakee, where it doesn't, where that then goes under that little red line where it says 200-002, that says that's actually the Kankakee River as it then bends north there. So his property is both north and south of the Kankakee River, which is really, really important
For those bridges.
for the potential bridge park component of what we talked about with John. So those are the boundaries. On the other side of it, you can keep looking at this map while I give you some information so you can kind of visualize it. It's 160 acres total. 75 of it is wooded, and you can pretty much tell where that wood is on the southern part of the property there. 100 of the 160 acres is locked in Federal Wetland Reserve Program, WRP, and that ain't coming out of that. He said literally it takes an act of Congress, a literal act of Congress, to come out of that. And what that means is there's no potential for construction on that land. But where that WRP land is, that 100 acres, is okay relative to where we would want to potentially have access for a gateway or an entry point into a potential park there. Let's go ahead and look at that. In fact, so look at the yellow line that runs along Wiggly along the left-hand side of the map. As you're coming down, there's a road there between those two yellow lines. And then you see where it says 451-004 on the map. That's where it crosses over. That's Baum's Bridge, where it crosses over the Kankakee right by 451-004. On the left-hand or west-hand side of that is where Baum's Bridge Inn is. And then on the right-hand side, that's where Collier's Lodge, the historic Collier's Lodge, used to be located. But because of time and disrepair, there was no salvaging that, and they took that down.
Mr. Hodson's property.
That's on his property, yes. They took that down. So that old lodge is not there. But that's the high point of that southern part of the property. That's where the entry, the gateway into a potential park here would be. That's not WRP land. You can build there. Those lots you see up above 452-007, 008, he has purchased those as well. There's homes on there. He rents those out. But that area around the curve and the high points there is where we could potentially, as a park, build parking lots, restrooms, pavilions, trailheads, all of those things. So that's where that would be. John's home is actually in the very top left-hand corner of this.
Yeah, that
And
476-001 top left-hand corner.
Yeah, that's the
This property.
top of the boot, so to speak. That's where he actually lives up there. Dunn's Bridge, where is this relative to Dunn's Bridge? So if you went to the right or southeast in the river off of this map, John said it's about 4 miles
Yeah.
down the river.
4 to 5.
Yeah, and the good thing is, and I included it in the description on the other side of the map, is that almost all of the land between John's property that he aims to donate to us and Dunn's Bridge is owned, so to speak, or at least under the control of the Kankakee River Basin Development Commission. He called it the KRB. So there's a very real possibility, right, that we could collaborate with them to put a trail
Totally.
along the river
Yeah.
from this property all the way down to Dunn's Bridge. So you not only have the potential for boating of entry point at Dunn's Bridge, you float this river and then an exit point down here on John's property, but there's a very real possibility, since it's KRB land, that we could even put a trail along the river as well. That'd be awesome. That'd be a great attraction for people to come down for a pretty substantial walk or jog, whatever, along that trail between what would be 2 Porter County Park possessions, parks, pieces of land connecting the two. He did mention this map doesn't really show it, but just off the map to the left of where Dunn's Bridge is about a 50-acre farmland owned by Cavender. And he's had conversations in the past of acquiring that land, and it's never gone through. But he said recent conversations have turned more positive about the potential in the future of some sort of collaboration. But John simply suggested that that land would be great because it has even more access to the river for an exit point, but it's also higher land, potential campground, just gives you options that much of the land you can't really build on John's, which is okay for what that property is. But that land across the street just would be, we're talking long game down the road.
That piece of property also has an area where, whether it's either the ditch or Kankakee River, has a big loop, and it kind of it did at one point in the 60s, 50s, and 60s, tied back in. They've since closed that, but it could be, if you have access to that property, you could possibly reopen that up to make that accessible again.
So what is our ability to turn this into an educational facility?
Well, as far as an education facility, I think one component of education and learning about the past, of whatever focus you want to have, is John's idea of a bridge park. So if you look where in the bottom left-hand corner where it says 200-002, which crosses the river, you see that little red bar on there? This is where John envisioned the potential of reinstalling disassembled and preserved iron bridges that have been taken down. And he actually has one of them. I've got the description on the front. He has bridge number 2 is on his property, disassembled, preserved, with all the instructions for how to reassemble it, and an MOU from Lake County that states that they will actually foot a portion of the cost of reassembling and restoring the bridge because they were so excited about its preservation. John has some connections with Indiana Landmarks, which have extensive contacts and work across the state preserving stuff like this. But there's another bridge that's soon to be disassembled, bridge number 36. It's County Line State Line Road Bridge. They're going to disassemble it. They want to donate it to an organization like the Kankakee Valley Historical Society, which is John started that. So he could very well acquire that bridge to have on his property as well. The thought is to have them reassembled down along that bend by 200-002. You create a trailhead, a trail system, trails that go out to these bridges that are restored over the river. It would be such a unique bridge park, and I sent you those videos. They have these up in Michigan. People love the bridges. They love photograph. They go to photo sessions there. You link it to a trail system not too far from the trailhead. I was talking with Carl before we started here. I mean, the real component of Brinka to Bridge Park, you linking north to south for our Porter County parks. There's a lot of possibilities here.
Are these all different style of bridges that they're looking at?
It's a good question.
So it's like an engineering class could come
Sure.
down. So we got this style, then this style.
Oh, absolutely.
Style type.
Absolutely.
Those
I
old
think
iron
that's-
bridges,
yeah.
they're cool. The one's 200 feet long. It's
Yeah.
really.
I will
considerable
say
bridge.
that bridge number 36, as we were talking to John via Zoom, or Mr. Hodson via Zoom, I got the old Googler out, and it shows it, and they said it's going to happen in 26, and it's going to be removed and sent to a facility that will reuse it. And I think it's over near some Albert Resorts off I-55. As you go north or south on I-55, and you look in that area to your right, you can see that bridge. It's still up. I know exactly which bridge it is. So, how many more bridges are like that down that row across Kankakee River? God only knows. Because there used to be rail systems and all kinds of stuff.
Side roads, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that'd be worth a float as far as I'm concerned, just to check it out and see. But it was a great conversation with him. It was a wonderful
First and
conversation.
foremost, we have drilled down on the fact that he wants to donate this land,
Yes.
right? We were wondering, is this purchase, usability study, is it purchase, or is it he wants to donate this land and make it available to the people of Porter County forever as a park, and I love that, and that's really, really important to him. And we've had really positive conversation about that. What he did say is he'll put it in his will and testament to donate it to us, but he did go further to say, not being prompt either, is that be it time and health and his ability to maintain and care for the land, when the time comes when he can't do that, that he's very open to donating portions of it sooner than before his passing, especially the part that he has to have a place to live, right? They didn't want to donate his home, but a good portion of that land, he even said, could very well donate that to the parks even before his passing.
Right. And I really think he'd be interested in starting before that time to do stuff down there. If he knew we were going to be doing it, he may very well start that process early so we can put the first parking lot in, we can put the first this in, and put the first that in. It really it sounded very, very hopeful.
And
Very hopeful.
yeah, and he said one thing that I thought was really pretty interesting, and I actually felt good about it. He has had historical. I used to take my daughter with 20 years ago to little historical reenactments down there. They were substantial, kind of like Feast of Hunter's Moon, if you've
Down
had,
Tippecanoe.
but on a smaller scale. Civil War, Voyageurs. It was cool. It was local. They have to go far. But he called it the Aukiki Festival, right? And that name has had a long history here, obviously, with the indigenous people. His thought was perhaps this is, and Carl and I felt good about it,
Absolutely.
a far more appropriate place for that name.
It would certainly make a lot more sense.
It would, right on the Kankakee. So, yeah, that's what we thought, and we've been talking about, do we really want to name that park by Couts, north of Couts, Aukiki anyway? We talked about maybe an Aukiki trail within the park. Well, this is a great potential landing place for that
name,
history and legacy and name in this park. It was a great conversation. It really, really was.
It
Sounds cool.
certainly sounds exciting. I'm going to divert to Jake. What kind of maintenance are we looking at budgetary wise that we're going to have to start planning for as we go forward?
So kind of the nice thing about this one, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like there's a terrible amount of mowing. With 100 acres, the 160 being wetland reserve program, you can't do anything to it anyways. Trails are relatively easy to set up if we can already find a path that sort of works on its own already. And the bridges would be contracted out. Any maintenance on those would probably be contracted out too. But yeah, as far as maintenance goes, I think the only additional maintenance work we would have is when the time comes that we take over the houses. Once we get to that point, we'll have facility maintenance on it. But as far as anything on a day-to-day basis, we would just add it to the rotation on mowing.
No different than changing the garbage over at Duncan Bridge, right? So there in the parking lot, if there's garbage cans and stuff like that, once there's a parking lot and there's not a lot of maintenance to it, maybe once a year go in and
so our immediate financial hit is really not there. It's something we can, and we will have time to plan for it in the future. That being said, I'm going to defer back to you guys. How is that going to fit into our master plan coming up?
Well, in this conversation, John was really keen on seeing just that. how would we fold this potentially into our master plan as a vision for a real park going forward? And I don't think there's any, this land won't be donated unless this happens to that land. That's not the sense I got from John. I know John wants to donate this as a legacy that he feels great about, but I think he would love, and I think it's the time to do it since we're working on a master plan. If he's going to donate this, it's not ours yet, but I think in our master plan, I think we reference the future acquisition of this land and the vision for potential bridge park, trails, connection to Dunn's Bridge. There's a lot we can talk about as we dream about what it will be, and I don't think it's going to take a great deal of effort to make it that once we acquire the land.
No, the nice thing about being mostly, nature, ecosystem preservation, historic preservation. There's not a lot of cost associated with getting a park like that up and running because the natural landscape and the Kankakee River do most of that for us.
Right.
And as far as it connects to the master plan, I'm pretty sure it's on the current one as well. There is one of the goals on the gold matrix is to acquire property along the Kankakee. So this would check that box entirely to continue developing access to the Kankakee River for conservation and recreation.
Are you familiar or have any history of working with the KRB, the Kankakee River Basin?
I do not.
I do.
Sounds like Ryan does.
Okay. What do you know, Ryan?
Scott P. Lath runs the Kankakee River Basin.
Okay.
He's also my son's baseball coach, leader, and
This all comes together.
everything else. So,
Okay.
yes.
Maybe a conversation with Scott.
Yep.
Scott was a state representative, wasn't he, at one point?
That I don't know, but
I thought it,
Scott P. Lath.
State rep.
I stumbled on those lines because it was in that Google search that I did. His name was in there.
Figure that out in a hurry, but yeah, throw it at him and let him know the thought of connecting these two really unique places, Dunn's Bridge with what would be Baum's Bridge, Waikiki Park, with the trail
Bridge Park.
along the river, connecting them.
Yeah, because I'm getting ready to do settlement probably tomorrow and send stuff out. So he's on my list to send out anyway. So I'll get in contact with him and
Awesome.
see if we can't get him at maybe our January 8th meeting or one of the first quarter of the year meetings, and you can maybe hear some more potential on the future of it,
Or a sit down
sit down with
Mr. Hodson.
Mr. Hodson, and
Would it be possible? What would it take?
Yeah.
Those things.
Beautiful.
yeah, just a phone call.
Great. Thank you. Perfect.
Fantastic. This sounds extremely exciting. Well done. You have a lot of hard work. Why don't you guys just keep working it
We got it.
and do whatever needs to be done and start getting into the final specifics to what we need to do. We'll just make it the Hodson committee, whatever.
I told him we'd loop back after tonight's meeting and give him an update. So he'll be happy to hear that the board is very excited about the potential and sees his vision as a bridge park as not just viable, but we're excited about it.
Absolutely. And just be careful when we're talking amongst ourselves that you can't have more than two talks.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Because but we can't have.
Yep.
Outside of that, anything else in the Presbyterian? So go back to attorney's report. You're still online.
So McClure is representing Hodson, I think, doing his estate work potentially. I actually don't know the scope of what it is that he is doing over there, but he was not at the meeting. I don't think it was necessary that the attorneys be there, so I thought it was a good introduction to the actual substance of what that conversation was about. But it got me excited, but not from we didn't get to talking about what a deed of transfer or the will or the trust would look like, or any kind of like fee determinables or anything like that, or limitations he'd have on the estate. I did not get the impression that he wanted a lot of limitations.
No.
He just wanted to know.
Yeah.
I think would be a better
Yeah.
He wanted to know.
Yeah.
He had some visions, but he was deferring to, I think, to the parks, and he didn't seem like as you said, he wasn't saying you have to do this,
Right.
or this reverts back to me. I wouldn't want that to be the case. But
I will say, as we were standing outside waiting for the sidebar to be done, Mr. McClure stepped out, and I
Yeah.
saw him and spoke with him, and he said, "Mr. Hodson really, really wants you guys to have this property." So I don't know.
I was gonna take the opportunity because I thought I saw him in the hallway.
Yeah.
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 I was like, I'll let him
Well-
have the conversation.
Well, like I said, he's
Now.
our attorney as well. So you know what I mean. So it works. Yeah. And he said, "Look, John talked to me about the meeting. Said it went great. He's very excited." So
Well, you
keep
board keep working on it.
Yeah.
If it's something the board has to approve, bring it back.
you got it. Well done. Keep up.
You bet.
Still on the attorney's report.
There's nothing that I have other than say, already gone to see the lights 4 times. Because when it gets dark and my son drives past it, he insists I go through it every single time. So it happened 4 times that I was in that neighborhood.
We're single-handedly going to set a record for attendance this year because of COVID.
It is, it's so much better this year. Like most of it was it looked like there'd been a lot of repairs and they moved around to where you become a connoisseur if you see it 24 times per year. So I've seen it a bunch of times. It's great.
Awesome. Well done.
Awesome.
Non-legal.
All right, committee, budget and personnel. Anything? We still have a little bit of money for the end of the year.
In the operating fund. Other than that, no. We've spent all
Good.
So
Good.
Moved
that's
it all around,
where we're
spent it
supposed
all.
to, right?
Yeah, we spent all.
Well done.
Anything on personnel, people? Nothing we need to really be worried about right now.
Nope.
Finishing up the year, we're gonna be where we need to be.
Yep, we're gonna keep a couple
Right.
of guys on for snow work and just keep them running. We got indoor stuff we got to work on too, so we've got enough in the hourly. We'll run the seasonal guys through the end of the year next year. So
Great.
Land use acquisition maintenance.
Yeah. We got 700 house. Nothing yet.
yeah,
Stuff with the church is what Akiki is what it is right now. So right now we're limbo. We're working on a 5-year plan,
All right.
which is awesome.
Education, marketing, master plan.
We got some work to do on the master plan, right? Folding this in.
some additions to add to it.
Other than that, no.
My one thing, I saw Brian last night, told him this. Doug Ross is a local reporter, and he put something on Facebook that he went down to Dunn's Bridge. It's been, I went down there once, and but it's been a few years. So I don't remember the exact, what I all saw. But what his description seems like the same thing happened to me. So basically, he's saying, you might miss the entrance. The signage is not that great. So it's kind of marketing and master plan that maybe in the next year or so we can work on just getting a little bit bigger of a sign. It's saying something entrance here, and I don't know how much
Something
that.
on Route 8. So there's a mark that sure says
Yeah,
park.
I don't know how much that would cost, but it seems like a relatively small cost.
I think it's just a conversation with NDOT to get a sign. I think,
out on Route 8.
Yeah.
But then we need something better down,
and we'll need something close to it.
similar to what we've got at Brookdale and
Yeah, the rest of them. Yeah,
same with this other.
like we're gonna put up at Hawk Ridge.
So
Have to get
when we
Hawk Ridge as well, yeah.
Right.
when we sell that house and have a sign made for the campground, have another one made for
do it all.
the bridge and do it right. We got that little extra money there.
And he also said, and I don't know how you go about fixing this, but he said Apple Maps can't find Dunn's Bridge County Park, but it was worth the sunset visit. So he enjoyed going there. I have pictures on it still in my.
I don't have a ready solution for that. but I like a
Well, don't like Google Maps. Can't you actually go somewhere and
you can.
put a pin and put it that way?
No, I had no problems with Google Maps being able to find it, to trying to make sure it could find everything.
Well, Apple-
But it is one of those if you don't know where you're supposed to
Well,
right.
get down to it,
I think
don't. You
when I-
drive into
when I went down there, it's like, oh, obviously when you cross the Kankakee, you realize that you went too far.
Right.
you have that oops.
Yeah. Just that quick too. He's like, oh shit,
Yeah, you get to the other side and like I missed out somewhere.
missed it.
All right. We'll have that on for early 2026.
Yeah,
That's
good thinking.
way. Anything else? Marketing, education,
I don't.
master plan,
Nothing else.
No.
animals, animal committee. You all got anything?
I think everything's cool right now.
Yeah, other than we're kicking off a volunteer program to try to get
Yep.
community involvement. But other than that, the animals are holding up well. The cold snap didn't hurt them any, so we didn't lose any to it. The new goats are holding up fine. The old goats are too fat to die from the cold. But the new ones are doing just fine.
Did they like the snow?
Oh yeah,
The little ones,
for a minute.
and they got over it.
Yeah, once they got like 12 inches.
How's our partnership with the food pantry? Still going?
Yep. So we're still getting them eggs and that we collect. So that's where all the eggs are
Good.
Other than the summer, once the garden's going, that's where all the extra produce from the garden goes to them as well.
Yeah, Westchester.
That's awesome.
Cool. I think that's it for committee staff. What have you all done?
Hey, how many eggs are we talking? Like a week? Out of curiosity.
A week, I don't know off the top of my head. It just kind of varies. But when I collect them on Sundays, I go out there and I do the Sunday shifts. There's between 5 or 6 a day.
Okay.
And
How many chickens we have?
we have 6 chickens and 5 ducks.
Oh, yeah. That's about.
So,
When it gets colder, they get a little bit.
and the ducks lay eggs too. So I don't know if they take the duck eggs or not.
I was wondering.
We have the duck eggs, but we do have the duck eggs.
You should take the.
So if anybody wants duck eggs,
You-
I mean, the staff just take them home.
Oh, those are really good. Really good eggs.
Until you eat too many of them, and you realize you shouldn't eat as many duck eggs as your chicken eggs. You hurt yourself.
Yeah, they're a little bit different.
Learn that the hard way.
I'll just do a 3 egg omelet, 3 duck egg omelet. Oh my god.
But yeah, so the biggest thing, getting the winter lights set up, that's been probably 80% of what we've done the last month. We got the electric panel replaced in the parking lot just in time. Same thing with the repair on the shelter. Circular got that done for us. So electric wise, we're all up to par. Next year we'll do the last 2 panels in the stretch. So we replaced panels 0, 1, 2, 3, and 6. So we've just got 4 and 5 there in the middle to do. And then other than that, it's just been kind of spending the rest of our money. We ordered the new combine playground. We got that order through. We got the order for the new shelter through. We got the panel replaced. And then we're just getting ready for pictures with Santa on the 13th. That's going to be about it. That's our last big event for the year.
All right.
I suppose we'll add into the. We are working on the June concert for our next summer nights. That Sunset concert series. We're with Flights Entertainment to get on that one. So we're starting that one, and then working on. I actually have to submit it tomorrow. The pre-proposal for the Lake Michigan Coastal Program for 2026 funding. We got 2025 funding. It got froze. Then it got axed. Then it got unaxed. And then it finally got allocated. And then so the state is now working through the signatory process. So we should have 2025's funding, which we got $40,000 from, coming to us for camp costs. So we'll have that in 2026 to be able to use. So the one that we applied for 2026 is the fishing piers at Brookdale. So we're going to ask them for $50,000 to go towards those 2 fishing piers.
Great.
And then we'll be able to build those off of the Brookdale Pond. So if if we get that one. But so I wrote the draft today, and then I'll submit it tomorrow. And then the new sign for Hawk Ridge is in house, and we'll put it up when the ground is frozen. And then we'll be just about ready to open up Hawk Ridge. We'll have to clean it up one more time in the spring.
Yeah.
Good cleaning, get it ready, but it'll be ready to open in May.
All right. No part.
Are we gonna have another small sign there at 500 and what is it, Old Chicago Road? Where
Yeah, we'll have
across
to.
arrowed this way and Hawk
Yeah.
non-existent.
Yeah, we'll have to
Oh.
work with.
Some
We'll have to work with.
directional signage.
That's probably going to be county, because
That's
that's all county roads. So we'll have to work with the highway department.
Yeah.
So that should be pretty easy and straightforward. Work with Jim.
So,
It's there
and
already.
yeah, we've got a small sign on, what is that,
500.
20?
Oh yeah.
On 20, right, that says brink across.
Yep.
Turns right there.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe we can add a second sign, brink across,
In Hawk Ridge.
Hawk Ridge, yeah. So
Then-
that shouldn't be that big of a big deal.
Yeah, because then once you get to Brink
Same one.
Across, we just add another sign near Brink Across, Hawk Ridge,
Right.
up the road. Because you just cross a couple more.
Yeah, a couple more county roads.
Yeah, otherwise nobody will find Hawk Ridge either.
No, they will not.
They won't be able to distinguish it from the rest of the fields around.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
That's the big stuff.
NIPA. NIPA's not here. How about the railroad? What y'all doing?
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Lance.
Nothing really to report other than we're participating in the Santa visit. So we'll have an oval setup, snow, Christmas Village trains. Plan on being there about 11 in the morning to set up in time for the sponsors section from 1 to 3. We'll stay for the general public. So just appreciate being invited, and we're going to participate again. Hopefully I have more to announce next month, where it's really gaining traction within the group about Christmas in July next year. Doing that. And so our Christmas party and society meeting is next Thursday at Riley's Rail House over in Chesterton. Richard and Anne Marie are members and stuff, so they host us every year. So we're going to talk about start making assignments and stuff to, hopefully make that happen. And I'm hoping in January I can report a lot more. I should be a lot more to report. Also, part of our outreach that we do is we collect toys at our annual Christmas party for the Caring Place down here in Valpo. So we've already got a list of, how many kids are there, boy, girl, ages, what their needs are and stuff. So we collect non-wrapped gifts, deliver them to Caring Place. So we're doing that again this year.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's
Had another phenomenal year, and you guys have been a big part of that.
Yep.
Certainly.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's been great working with all of you this year between the events and I mean, I even helped out. I volunteered for the haunted trails and stuff too.
Did you?
Down there dressed up a few nights and helped out with that. But no, it was good. It had a real good year this year.
Yeah, you guys have really been a big part of our success. So it takes everybody. You and not just you, but your entire team.
True.
Yeah, pass that along, please.
I will.
Thank you.
I'll pass that along. It's nice. We set a record this year of number. We've got 8 new members that we picked up this year.
Wow.
And we're really trying to work hard on getting younger members because we don't most of us are older and it's a kind of an old man's hobby or old person's hobby, I'd say, because we have Karen Sarver with us. So I don't-
Careful.
but we got some younger folks and a couple of live steamers, new live steamers. So
Did they join?
Yeah.
Did they? That's all.
going, yeah.
That's outstanding.
So that helps us out when during the NEPA show to be able to run all those.
Oh.
Yes, we are aware that it's probably going to be 4 days this year. So we're already talking early about how we're going to man that. So as we go along, I'll have more to report. But for the immediate future, the 13th is what we're gearing up for.
Well, wish everybody happy holidays for us.
I will. Thank you. No, we really appreciate working with you folks. NEPA's very, they've been very good to help us out and, bring the people back on the tractors. Just help us out with the water. We just, and we realize, we have the attitude that we're guests at the park. We're at the park, but we're not like part of the parks department, right? So we realize we try to treat it as guests, that be nice, because just as, you folks could have a good relationship with us, we don't want to have the time come where say, get the, off our property. So we don't take that for granted. We try to keep it up nice over there and do the best we can to promote the hobby and the park.
Appreciate
Great job.
Make sure you take care of that arm because we're going to need it next year running trails.
Oh yeah. No, it's fine.
You got a couple months to rehab.
Yeah, I do. I injured my arm playing ball in Vegas, so. But it's fine now. I got an MRI. I'm good now. I'm good to go.
Real good. Thank you much.
That's it.
Thank you, Lance.
Yep.
Jake, how did we do making money this year overall?
So revenue, in the operating fund, there is right now 292,000 and some change. We've got another 12 or 13,000 we've got to clear from November to go into that. So through November, we've made about 314-ish thousand, 315,000 or so, or 300. Fix my math there, 310-ish thousand, which is our second best year. Prior to last year, last year was our best year. But we did this with no grant money, so we lost 40 grand right off the top with grant money. Otherwise, we'd be neck and neck with our best year.
Yeah.
On the same grant money. So revenue-wise, it's our second best year with another $300,000 a year. Visitation-wise, it'll set a record. We were on a record-setting pace prior to Winter Lights starting.
And Kobe's going to kick that over the top. So
And we've got
I've got it covered.
like Kobe.
we've got numbers coming in there. Now the kind of the cool thing about where we're going to end this year, while we didn't have a record-setting year revenue-wise, we're going to have a record balance in the cash balance of the operating fund. It'll be higher than it was at the start of this year, going into next year. So while we didn't necessarily generate as much money, we're still going to end the year with more cash than we started. So,
Which is remarkable considering how much we've done.
Yeah.
Right.
Is
Which
the-
we've spent.
spent a lot of
Yeah.
money this year.
Yeah.
So there's
That's
kind of the caveat. That's kind of the the flip to it. We spent more in the operating fund this year than we probably ever have. More than I can go back and check
Right.
now, anyways. So we spent more, and we still managed to generate that much. So now, once we're done with all those one-off costs and those extra expenses, our yearly spend shouldn't really have an issue staying under 250,000 a year, 247-ish thousand a year. So as we continue to make 300,000 a year every year, over and over again on a consistent basis, because now we know we can make it without any external funding,
Right.
without grants. We did it without selling any property. We just made $300,000. So we can consistently do that. So we'll be able to, pad up our cash balance and give ourselves some breathing room here soon. And then as the grants open back up and more revenue opportunities become available, we'll be able to capitalize on that.
Well, thank you very much to the staff. I know there's just one of you here tonight, but please let them all know we appreciate the hell out of them. You guys have done an amazing job this year, and the parks are in the future's brighter than ever. So it's outstanding.
Yeah. It's their hard work and their efficiency is what makes that possible.
Yeah. So, and it's all of us for helping with making it happen. So
Yeah, none of it happens without you guys up here. So take some credit for yourselves.
We just point you in a direction.
I will say as well that this is my official last Porter County Park Board meeting on my current term. I was appointed 4 years ago. I have put my paperwork in to apply for reappointment to the board. The county council appointed my position, so I hope the county council is willing to reappoint me to the board to continue working with you guys to continue everything that we've accomplished together. So I hope to see you again in January. I truly do. Yeah.
So when does that occur?
I believe in December.
Supposedly in December. I'm a commissioner's appointee, and this is the same thing, the last monthly one, and when and if I get appointed by the commissioners, and we'll move forward from there.
Okay.
Hopefully, I've got my paperwork in as well, and I'm hoping to be honored to serve with
It's been a remarkable 4 years.
So
when I-
hopefully,
we're-
hopefully we maintain
where we are.
status quo and keep growing.
Do we have anything from the Park Foundation? No?
All right.
All right, public comments, sir?
Good, if I could just say real quick to compliment the advertising you've done. I haven't got the final numbers put together.
Her.
I haven't, oh yeah, the advertising, yes. I haven't put the final numbers together. I know we set a year record for attendees. Last year, Trunk or Treat, for example, we were excited because we had 865. This year, just shy of 1,300.
Fantastic.
That's
Wow.
a lot of people
Thank you, Melanie.
through.
You've done it with between the Facebook and all that stuff. It helps a lot. And I know the new signs got to help too, right? Because people are seeing things now
Yes.
that they don't normally see if they're not on Facebook and stuff. And that sign has got to help.
I'm almost afraid of that sign coming.
I know, I know, because it may turn around
We-
by the
I like it.
backside.
We ran out of parking this year.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going to happen for about a 30-minute stretch there.
Careful.
And yeah,
Being,
Careful.
careful because the sign wasn't up then.
being the officer up there doing traffic, we're getting a little nervous. no one was leaving.
So again, thank you to the staff, and you've done a really good job, Melanie. Thank you very much.
It's working. People are coming to the park.
Yeah. It's the adage of build it and they will come, and we keep adding to it. So keep coming. So
Yeah, I can give some numbers on the visitation to kind of support that. When last year our total visitation was about 202,000 according to our counters
from all the parks,
from all of it in total. Before we entered November, it was at 187,000. So we didn't even hit our busiest visitation month in the winter, which typically adds about another 20 or 30,000 on its own in just a 3-week span in December. So it's going to be nuts.
yeah, have some nice year-end numbers for us in January, would you?
It's exciting.
Be nice to see.
And along with our staff, I personally want to thank county facilities. Got out of the car today. Today was a day. When I started looking at these lights, I'm like, man, that's fantastic. Just kind of got me in the holiday spirit. And the county highway department, they really got kicked in the gut these last couple.
Oh yeah.
They've been out there working. They were working hard. I know a lot of people complain about, well, I don't see a plow every 5 minutes come down my street. Well, until you have 3 inches of snow, which we had a lot more than that, you can't do anything. It was a heavy, wet snow. Once it gets driven on, then that's a whole nother aspect of trying to get it cleared. And then with the cold weather, but out in the counties, there's not corn up or beans up anymore. So that wind is drifting that stuff across.
Yeah.
Now they'll go through, and 10 minutes later they're drifting. But our county highway and our facilities crews have really done a great job over the last couple weeks trying to make sure that everything's squared away. So, any other public comments? That being said, we have a motion, a second for adjournment. All of those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Got it. Thank you much.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes.
This is a very popular meeting we had today.
I'm excited about it.
And talking to McClure, he was like, he's really
Very, very excited about this.
Honestly, the bridge property sounds like it's great.
It's
huge
really come
this year.
way.
But I
Yeah.
it actually is on my.
Use it.
It's I drove by one day, there was like a big picture of a goat when I
Oh, what's there, Lily?
It's like 7 years ago, but I was
Happy Christmas. Yeah.
Happy Christmas.
Oh, don't forget